Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is still the 11th of April. It is Monday, 2022. So again, real quick before I start this stream or this video, reminding everybody I will be doing a hardcore prepper only live stream tonight at 8 p.m. Again, if you're interested, go to my main page here on YouTube, click on join and become a hardcore member. All right, so before we do anything else, I'm going to take you guys into the battery room and we'll just take a look. 56.1. We are perfectly full. The batteries are full, and it is, so the sun, guys, is here. It's still hitting the panels from this angle, okay? So all day long we've had the sun. I have used the air conditioning. There is a draw on the power when you have the air conditioning on, but since then I've just, if you can see the windows vented, they're open. I'm like, I don't need the air conditioning. I just got to open the windows. There's enough of a breeze that I can get, enough coolness that way. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys about bugging out locations. Where should you be? And I just had a awesome conversation with an amazing guy that I've been on his radio show a couple times, Ryan McCormick, and he does a lot of stuff with the outer limits and stuff like that. But he's just very, very good guy, and he was asking me my thoughts of moving like to a place like Florida, because of DeSantis and the freedoms, and they're fighting a lot of things in Florida, and you're having a lot of people moving to Florida because, number one, they can work there and not have to get jabbed and all those type of things. And I had said to him, I said, I would never live in Florida. And he was like, well, why? And I said, because when something happens, I said, there's one way in and one way out of Florida, regardless of how far down you are. One way in, one way out. And I said, unless you have a boat, so some of you guys are going to go, well, if you have a boat, you can get out anywhere. Great. Okay, you got a boat. Now you deal with pirates. You have to understand, in a worst case scenario, there's going to be the haves and the have-nots. If you have your nice little yacht or little skipper that you're on, there's going to be people with bad intentions that are going to come and try and take your stuff, okay? So those are things you need to think about. When it comes to a bug, and what I had said to him as well, I said, you're talking about 100+ degree days in the summertime. So what you're looking at is you're looking at a situation where it would be brutally hot. You're trying to traverse and walk on the roads in a swampy area. So now the mosquitoes are going to be like crazy. It's going to be ridiculously hot. You're going to have marauders and all those type of things. And it's not like you're going to swing around and go through the swamps to get out and away from people. You're not going to be able to do that. You couldn't give me a place in Florida for free and I would move there. I love Florida to visit, don't get me wrong, I think it's beautiful, but if as a bug out location to go, it is not the place you want to be. Worst case scenario, so what are you looking for? So let's talk about why I picked West Virginia. All right, so we're going to talk about this a little bit so you guys can understand, why did I pick West Virginia? Why did I come here and use this and decide that this is going to be my bug out location? So one of the factors that, if you can see, and where I'm standing here, you're looking over this way, there's over the ledge of the property of the meadow, it goes straight down into a gorge area type of thing, comes up the other side same way, and then all you see around here, if you're looking, are more mountains. Okay, controlling the high ground is really, really important. So some of you are going to say, well, the high ground's up in the upper meadow. We plan on doing something about that as well, but the reality is, to come in here to get to this lower meadow, there's your way in. Okay, if you're coming in from these other ways, it's going to be much, much more difficult, easier to block off, and it's going to be very difficult to come in those ways to try to attack the lower meadow. Besides the fact that we are 8/10 of a mile in from the main road. So it's not like it's sitting out there in plain sight where everybody's going to see it and those type of things. So location and controlling the high ground is a really important thing. One of the other reasons why I picked West Virginia is it's sparsely populated. It's not overly populated, okay? When you are looking at those mountains over here, all right, so let's look at those mountains off this way. If there is a nuclear attack on the East Coast and they hit Norfolk, in Virginia, the naval base, if they hit Washington, D.C., and all those different places, if they hit those places along the coast, the prevailing winds generally come from from west to east. So you're not going to have that radiation coming back this way. And if it did, you see those mountains over there, guys, way over there? That's going to absorb a lot of that radiation. That radiation from this way is not going to, and those mountains travel all the way through this whole area. You can see over there, that's higher than I am here, that way. So you have the mountains this way as well, blocking, those, any kind of radiation. So if there's a nuclear power plant on the other side of those hills, we're going to be protected and insulated because of those mountains. So that's another factor. Water's a huge factor, and so maybe when the summer, if it gets drier, the springs may not produce as much. Maybe the creeks dry up more and those type of things. But utilizing the water and saving the water when it is available, you're going to get rainstorms, they're going to come in, you're going to have that. So setting up rain catchments, setting up a subterranean, underground cistern to save water. Those are things that absolutely can be done, and with as much rain as we had and the snow and everything over the weekend, one or two of those type of storms, and you got your water for the year, realistically. So you're going to get the water. The water is going to come. We're going to get rain. It's going to come. It's going to happen. So those are definitely things to keep in mind as well. So those are factors that you have to look at. What is your availability to water? So when you're looking at a bug out location, like I said, you want to control the high ground. You want to control, being far enough away from dangers like nuclear attack or nuclear power plants and those type of things. You have to take that into consideration as well. Which will also, like I said again, and then, being able to have access to water. In Arizona, it would be a tough place to be unless you are a channel like the Green Dream Project that have built a cistern. And so when monsoon season comes there, they get all their water for the year off of those storms. And so they utilize that. They have the cistern. They have those big totes. They have like 5,000 gallon, I think they're 5,000 gallon totes to store water in and those type of things as well. These are all factors that you have to take into consideration. Now let's talk about gardening. Let's talking about, do you have an open area that's going to get a lot of sunshine so that you can grow crops? That was one of the factors for me with looking at this too. I can put in gardens, I can do greenhouses, I can do whatever I want to do out here, and we're not going to be shaded where we're going to have any issues with growing. And I think that that's an important factor. Now, the soil up here is a couple inches of topsoil, and then it's clay and rock. So soil can be developed. If you know what you're doing, you can develop soil. All these things are factors. If you live in the desert, you're not developing the sand. So, you have to look at that. Like when the fall comes and all these leaves and all these trees fall down, there's going to be a lot of leaves. We can gather them up, turn that into compost, and that type of stuff as well, and develop it into really, really good, rich soil. So again, if you put in the time, put in the effort, but you have to be in a location, you're not going to have leaves coming off the trees in the Arizona desert. It's not going to happen. So, you have to look at that factor as well. Now, what you also have to look at the factor of is weather. Weather's a huge factor. Being in New York, where, my other homestead is, Our growing season is very, very short because of the weather. Down here, the growing season is going to be much better. It's going to be longer. So that's a factor. So there's so many things that you have to think about when it comes to picking a bug out location or a place where you want to set up a homestead or where you want to have your home and do those type of things. All those things are huge factors that you have to think about. You have to think about them because every one of them is just as important as the last one. This is a very defendable spot, and we're going to be able to take care of our business here, once we get going with fruit trees and all those other factors. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So, I'm excited about that. And again, it's going to take some time, but we're going to get there. And, it's just... hopefully the world doesn't go to doo-doo land before we do that, before we get that done. So, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you something to think about. The premise of a lot of my videos that I do, I want you guys to think. If I make you think, then I've done my job. Always question everything. Always think, make plans, decide what am I doing, how am I doing it, where am I going with it, and those type of things. So just wanted to share that with you. I hope this helps. I really do. Kind of with my thought process of why I picked this spot, why I picked this area of the country, and those type of things. So one of the other factors, guys, is also cost. I got a great deal on this property and really, really happy to do so. So, that's another factor. It makes a difference. So, anyway, I am going to jump off of here for now. Remember, folks, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. The sooner we can figure that out, the better off we're going to be. Also, remember, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. You set a realistic goal, and then you set about to making that goal happen. I think it's a hugely important thing, and so that's what I'm going to always encourage you guys to do. All right? Stay focused, keep prepping, keep getting ready, and you're going to be okay. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.